All right. Hey guys, welcome to Mr. Lohmeyer's 7th grade design class. And today we're studying the golden era of animation. And in just a few minutes, we're going to have a bunch of 7th graders here joining us to share some of their answers for the Snow White documentary trivia. So if you haven't had a chance yet, check out the Snow White documentary. It's called Who's the Fairest of Them All. Go ahead and watch the documentary. And there's even a link to get your very own trivia sheet just like this so you can follow along with our 7th graders and then come on back so you can see how you did. Cool. Good job. Hey, what's up, Kira?
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. Okay, thumbs up. Thank you. Josh and Henry, hello.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
There he is. Hey, Brandon. Hey, what's up, Bass? Welcome, guys. So right here, you guys will see that I have the Snow White documentary trivia that you guys all did last week. Also, I want you guys to know that we are recording this. We're going to share the answers to this trivia with the Whitby community. I want to give a special shout out right now to Miss Lavoie and Miss Fox, the lower elementary teachers. I think they'll be following along with some of their students. And also Mr. Lacasse in middle school is following along as well. So, hey, what's up to those guys? We studied this documentary. It's called Still the Fairest of Them All. Let's start at the very top. The first question, this is about design, the design of the Queen's throne. Henry, do me a favor, okay? You're the first one to go. But I want you to read the entire question and then tell me the answer, okay?
Design is peacock.
Very good. Next up, this is a storyboard question. In the original storyboard, I'm going to ask Vasilisa.
In the original storyboard, who did the queen put in chains? Yeah, the prince.
The prince. Yeah, in the original version, the prince had a lot more to do, a lot more in the story. Name the year. Kira, to start with the first one, if she could tell me what the question is and give me the year.
Walt Disney is born in Chicago, 1901.
1901. Thank you. And yeah, she even gave us the location. He was born in Chicago. The next one, if Ariana could please read the question and give us the answer.
Walt saw the silent film Snow White in 1916.
Thank you. Very good. 1916. Next up, next year, I'm going to ask Julian to tell me this answer.
Walt makes his first color cartoon, 1932.
Very good. 1932. All right, last name the year. Starts with Walt unveils. If Alex could please read the question and answer.
Okay, Walt unveils 1934.
That's true. Thank you. In 1934, he unveiled his own plans for Snow White, right? He got all his animators together and told them about his idea. Samantha, you can help us fill in the blank.
Early in his career, Walt made the Alice comedies.
Thank you very much. Yeah, based on really early version of Alice in Wonderland. Ask Luca to tell me this next one. At the time,
People thought that the color in a 90-minute cartoon would hurt your eyes.
but at the time they were like, people won't sit through an hour-and-a-half cartoon. The colors are too bright. They're going to hurt your eyes. Next up, I'm going to ask Charlie to tell us about newspaper headlines.
And Walt announced his plans for Snow White. The newspaper headlines read Disney's Folly.
Thank you. They called his idea for Snow White Disney's Folly. Hey, Annika, can you tell us about the film's sound designer by reading the question and answer?
The film sound designer is Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy McDonald, if you guys didn't hear that. Yeah, he made all of the sounds like for the storm and what are the noises going on inside the dwarf's house. Can Gianfranco help us out with that question right below about songs?
The number of songs used in the film was 8.
8 songs. They made almost double that amount of songs, but they only used 8. Let's pivot over and talk about gags. I would like Brandon to tell us about that question.
Oh, the Walt's brother's name?
No. How much did Walt pay? I saw you got this one right, so I wanted to see if you could help us out.
What was it, $5?
$5. Thank you. So think about that, right? Every little gag you see in the film, a gag is like a physical joke. Some animator pitched to Walt, and if they made it in, they got $5. All right, let's talk about the storyboard phase. I'm going to ask Anaya.
In the storyboard phase, ideas are number 1 suggested, 2 embellished.
Thank you. We'll pause there, but she gave us 2. Hey, Josh, can you finish that off and start at number 3 for us? Bottom line.
Storyboard. Number 3 would be replaced. Number 3 would be replaced.
Replace. You guys are also making storyboards for your animations. Here are 4 things that you could potentially do. You could suggest something new. You could embellish. You could actually replace it, or even just delete it completely. We're almost done with part 1. I want to know who wrote the original story, and Sachi is going to start. Who wrote the original story?
The Grimm brothers.
Grimm brothers. Thank you. Sachi, you know what? You can keep going here. I have you here for getting Walt's brother's name correct. What is Walt's brother's name, Sachi?
Roy.
Roy is correct. Roy Disney. Samantha, who posed
as the live action reference? Don Brody.
Don Brody. He actually dressed up like the witch, and they used that live action reference. Thank you. Hey, Josh, can you tell us who could
wiggle his ears like Dopey? I said Ken Anderson.
Thank you very much. You are correct. Ken Anderson, he was one of the animators, and they realized, oh, wow, here's a trick that this guy can do. Maybe we can work it into the film. All right, let's go by the numbers. Henry, how many years between The Goddess of Spring and Snow White?
So the correct number of years between the 2 films was 3 years.
Yes, good job. Thank you. 3. Next one is about the length of the film. Annika, can you read us that question and give us the answer?
How long the film is in minutes? The film is 87 minutes.
Yes, 87 minutes. Julian, help us out with this one. Can you read the question and answer, please?
The number of artists tracing onto the celluloid
Is how many?
Hello? 150.
Very good. 150 different artists just tracing onto celluloid. They're not making up anything new. They're just tracing the work of others. I want to know this last number. Alex, help us out with this one.
The number of drawings used in a film is 1 million.
That is a lot of drawings, especially back then. Let's go over to Animation Station. Brandon, can you help us out with the first one by finishing that sentence?
The multiplane camera used many depths of glass to create depth.
Very good. The multiplane camera. If you watch the documentary, you saw how huge this multiplane camera was that Walt Disney had. It was like the size of a car. It was enormous. Next one, I'm going to ask Vasilisa to please read that sentence and fill in the blank for us.
Shooting 1 frame at a time, with each frame slightly different from the one before, creates the illusion of motion.
Thank you very much. Gianfranco, can you finish off Animation Station for us?
An animation sequence cut from the film, but later aired on TV, showed the dwarves eating soup.
Very good. So think about that, right? There was an animator who said he worked for months on this sequence. They had to cut it from the film. Walt Disney, very smart guy, he said, hey, I'll repackage this. I'll show it on TV years later. Now I have content for this episode on television. Let's talk Hollywood. Hey, Luca, help us out. What was the date of the Hollywood premiere? And if you could flip your camera on, please.
The date of the Hollywood premiere was December 21st, 1937.
December 21st, 1937. He's absolutely right. He won an Oscar for this. Can you tell us about this Oscar, actually, Kira? Read that question and give us the answer. Thank you.
What did Walt call his Oscar statue? I said beautiful.
That is true. All right. Who said it? We got 3 more to go. Charlie, can you give us the top one? Give us the quote and tell us who said it.
It's going to be a smash hit. How much do you need? Joe Rosenberg.
Thank you, Joe Rosenberg, right? The banker who helped the Walt Disney Studios to stay afloat while they were making this picture. Ariana, can you tell us the next quote and then tell us who said it?
You would begin to see how Walt was getting these little personality touches into the characters. Ollie Johnson.
Thank you. Yes, Ollie Johnston, famous animator with the studio for many, many years. All right, last one. Anaya, help us out.
They shot that live action and they used it as a guide.
Rudy Belmer. So isn't that interesting, right? All the way back then, they were still using live action as a reference for their animations to get it accurate. You guys were really great going through the trivia. Awesome job. Thank you, 7th grade, for helping out and giving us the answers.
Henry, do you want to work together?